Welcome everybody. Thank you for coming. It's a beautiful day. My name is Rawson Haverty. I'm general partner of Forever Young Aquaponics, a new entity that was formed in partnership with Arvind Venkat, scientific director and founder of Water Farmers Aquaponics, and of course the Andrew J. Young Foundation. On behalf of all of us associated with Forever Young Aquaponics and of course the Andrew Young Foundation, we welcome you to this official groundbreaking celebration. And though you can see we've already broken ground, and we're just beginning to start to pour foundations shortly, we wanted to invite our friends and partners, supporters, particularly those from Clayton County. Thank you everybody for coming today, to just come together on this beautiful May Day to acknowledge you, to acknowledge our team, to say thank you, and to share a bit about our vision, and to pray God's hand to guide us. So to start, I want to acknowledge, before we get started, a number of our special friends and partners and supporters here today. First and foremost, Ambassador Andrew Young, the inspiration for Forever Young Aquaponics, and his vision is the reason we're here today. Garv Kumar, president of the Andrew Young Foundation and the one most responsible for activating the ambassador's vision. Bo Young, who's played a key strategic role in shaping our new enterprise. Thank you, Bo. Our partners, Jeff Freemeyer and Paul Freislig, with the Epiani Partners and their team. They provided invaluable financial, strategic expertise, leadership, and a special thanks to Edwin Hunderdos, who's been a great friend and great supporter. And all the way from Colorado, Dave and Milt Geist, with the Geist Family Investments, both developer, our landlord, our strategic partners, here in Atlanta and also in Colorado. Thank you, gentlemen, for coming all this way. Bob Williams, Mitch Davis are here with Pond and some of their associates, our architect engineering service providers. And I would like to acknowledge Brad Homan, who's here today, with Hydronoff, our general contractors on this project. Brad, thank you so much for being here. He was in charge of this good weather, so thank you for that. I'd also like to welcome in particular the leadership of Clayton County. There's quite a few of you here today, and a great shout out to all the commissioners that joined us, and a special welcome to Erica Rocker, the Economic Development Officer for Clayton County. Thank you, ma'am. We would not be here without her. Chairman of the Board of Commissioners of Clayton County, Commissioner Jeffrey Turner. Thank you, Jeffrey. You look good in the paper this morning. I appreciate that. Dietrich Stanford, Chief Operations Officer of Clayton County. I think he's on his way. He's not here right now. Oh, yes, okay. Where are you? Thank you. Just want to make sure we got a chair for you right here. Thank you. Okay, that's all right. He's always right. All right, so now it's my privilege to invite Garv Kumar, who's the president of Andrew J. Young Foundation, to come up and share more about the Ambassador Young's vision, how that vision is coming to life through the strategic partnership with Forever Young Aquaponics, Water Farmers, and the Andrew Young Foundation. Inspired by Ambassador's vision, Garv has been the spark and the light shaping Forever Young Aquaponics. He's providing steady, competent leadership to map our course. So it's my pleasure to introduce the president of the Andrew Young Foundation, Mr. Garv Kumar. Garv, come on up.
Thank you, Rawson. First of all, I'd like to thank each one of you for taking time to attend this momentous occasion, because Ambassador Young and I started on this journey several years ago with a simple idea on how to feed the hungry. And when you talk about how to feed the hungry, you have to look into a lot of different aspects which are worldwide. The population is going to be about 8.5 billion people on this earth by 2030, and it is going to put pressure on the land that is available to grow food. It is going to put pressure on fresh water. We may not realize it, but 70% of fresh water goes into soil-based agriculture and irrigation. Only 2% of fresh water is available for human consumption. And so the idea is, how we can grow more food on less land, using less water, using less energy, and employing people, and come up with a model that is profitable and that can provide clean, good, organic, fresh food to everybody. So that's how we started. So we landed on aquaponics simply because it mimicked the mother nature the best way. You have fish in tanks, and you have you take the fertilized water and use that water to grow food, and you bring back water. And I think that was one of the touch points for aquaponics, that it is probably the only system of growing food which has zero discharge in the environment. So on this side, we'll be discharging zero into any of the county system, and that's I think environmentally sustainable way to grow food. So when we started the journey, we got our hands dirty at the Andrew and Walter Young YMCA. We have been running an aquaponics system, experimental scale, for last, I would say, 6-7 years, and providing whatever we grow to the YMCA. And then we ventured out, and Ambassador and Bo and I, we went to South Korea, we went to India and Oman, and tried to figure out who were the best and the brightest in the world, who we can look up to when it comes to aquaponics. And we came in touch with Arvind Venkat, who had done 16 major commercial farms around the world, and profitably, and they were all running. And so I went and saw those farms, and I said, well, we should bring this to Atlanta. And then that's when Ambassador said that, well, how we can get this done in Atlanta. And he was the one who said, well, let's try to do it near the airport. And I will let him speak about that. So, I see Gerald McDowell in the back. Gerald, who is doing an amazing job with the airport CID. I approached him first. I said, we want to do a project, a commercial scale aquaponics project. Where should we do it? And he said, well, you should meet with Chairman Turner. And he invited both of us to his office, and we met. And then Chairman Turner invited us, introduced us to Erica. And Erica really traveled around with us for several days, looking at different sites around in Clayton County. So a big round of applause for Clayton County officials for their dedication and commitment to bring new businesses in Clayton County. So thank you so much. So, we are going to bring the best and the brightest of the talent, the technology at this site. And this aquaponics farm will be the most technologically sophisticated aquaponics farm in the world, right in Clayton County. And we are very proud of it. And as we look into the future, you require the vision that was given by Ambassador Young, you require the intellect, and that's what the team looks like with Arvind, Rawson, Bo, Dave, and Mill guys. And the capital that has come along. So I just thank everybody for believing in Ambassador Young's vision and helping us come to this point, and the future looks bright and only upward and great in the next year or so. Okay, so I would now Arvind Venkat, who could not join us. Arvind Venkat is in Oman right now working on a 5-acre aquaponics farm as we speak. So he has sent a video, so we'll see that video, and then we'll invite Ambassador Young to say a few words. Thank you very much.
Good day, y'all. Welcome to Forever Young Aquaponics, urban America's youngest greenhouse company and Atlanta's very own commercial aquaponics facility. I'd like to thank you all for joining in our commencement ceremonies, and I hope you have a wonderful afternoon with our lovely team here. My name is Arvind Venkat. I'm part of Water Farmers, the primary technology provider for this project, and I also have the privilege of being one of the managing partners with the Forever Young Aquaponics group. Today marks the beginning of not only this facility or the construction of this project that you see around you, but it marks the beginning of our adventure of realizing the dream of Atlanta's prodigal child, Ambassador Andrew Young. It was his vision to feed the world in a sustainable manner that sparked the conversation that set us on the path to where we are today with this venture. It is with the greatest level of gratitude that I acknowledge the privilege that has been given to us by fate or destiny or by the will of Ambassador Young himself to bring us all together and set us on this path to provide a sustainable, clean, pure food solution to Southern Atlanta. We do all this with a methodology known as aquaponics. Aquaponics is the coming together of fish culture and greenhouse horticulture of food crops in a closed loop. The fish produce the nutrients that are required through their metabolic activities for the crops that are grown in the greenhouses. The crops then demineralize the water or uptake these nutrients and circulate the water back into the fish system, completing a perfect cradle-to-cradle model. You will, in the days to come, be witness to the grandeur and magnificence of this facility, and we hope and pray that your support and encouragement will follow us through the many successes that we get. Again, we acknowledge the magnitude of the dream that we have embarked on as a mission to fulfill, and we are sure that we will do our very best to great success. Thank you very much and have a wonderful afternoon.
Thank you very much, everybody that's here, and we thank you for your efforts, but most of all, we thank you for your prayers. I'm getting old, and people were asking me, say, you've done just about everything you wanted to do, and I'm very proud of the progress that we've made here in Georgia, and it's taken a while. I came to Georgia in 1953 as a country preacher down in Thomasville and Beachton, Georgia, Thomas and Grady County. And there was something about this state and something about the people here that made me feel that we were special. And I didn't see clearly then what would happen, but I remember Maynard Jackson's grandfather came to me and asked me if I would run a voter registration drive down in Thomas and Grady County. Grady County is where Jackie Robinson was born. Thomas County is where the present Secretary of Defense is a graduate of Thomas County High and the military academy. The first black graduate of West Point happens to be a resident of Thomas County years ago, and I lived with his mother when I first went down there as a country preacher. And it changed my life because, well, I don't know. It just did. I liked it. I loved the people. I loved the lifestyle. And I got sent to New York, but it wasn't, my wife said, I can stay in New York no more than 5 years. And after 4 years, we saw Nashville Sit-In Story, and she said, it's time for us to go back home. I said, we just bought this house though in New York. She said, yeah, but New York can never be my home. And she said, I said, well, where do you want us to go? She said, I don't care, we just need to be back south. And so I said, well, what are you gonna do? She said, I'm going to my mama in Alabama with my 3 children. And you find a way to sell this house and find you a job somewhere south of the Mason-Dixon line. Well, by the grace and mercy of God, about that same time, somebody came to me and said, you know, Martin Luther King is talking about moving back to Atlanta from Montgomery. And he doesn't have much of a staff. And he met you a couple of times at Talladega College, and he was wondering if you would be interested in coming back south to work with him. And I said, well, I guess I am. But there was a lot of, it wasn't politics, it was administrative things like setting up a foundation, setting up a tax-exempt fundraising operation, just getting organized. And so I got thrown into that, and then here I am. And I have just been impressed with everything that's happened in Atlanta. I think the kickoff for me was when Beaufort Jones of the Woodruff Foundation decided we were going to work to get a mass transit system. Fortunately, we didn't get it all the way down here, but we tried. And what he did was he put Daddy King, Martin Luther King Sr., and Calvin Craig, who was the Klan leader of the Ku Klux Klan. He was the chairman, and they were the co-vice chair of Economic Opportunity Atlanta. And that was what produced the neighborhood planning units, and we put the block by block organization, and we were the only county, only area in the whole United States that was able to get people together enough to vote for Martin. And that started us. Next thing you know, Mayor Hartsfield had talked about Delta coming here. Delta was a little crop duster airline from Louisiana, and he gave them all the land they wanted to use up there for $1 a year for 50 years, and that brought Delta here. Well, those were seemingly insignificant things, but it made us now, we in the metropolitan Atlanta area are in the top 10 of global economies in the world. And we feed more people, we have more people working. Things are going better. And if we were a country instead of a city, we would still be one of the top 10 economies in the world. Because we've come together to make things happen. And it started in Auburn Avenue, but it's all the way down here and all the way up north in Gwinnett and all around Georgia, from Savannah almost clearly to Birmingham now. So this is a place that's special for me. And I think it's a place that, well, I kind of decided that God must like to go to. And that God must have decided that, sorry and trifling though we are, that we probably have done as well in this region as any of his children anywhere else on earth. We have worked together, we have prayed together, we have educated each other, and we have developed business networks that help the whole world. We've created in our Senate and our Congress people who have led the world. And I think we're just trying to keep this tradition going. Of course, I must confess that I was selfish. I'm 92, and I don't know about y'all. I mean, I want to eat, but eating is important to me as getting into heaven. I don't know what's going to happen when these bones dry up, and I want to have a spiritual connection with the universe, so that whatever happens, I'll be a part of continuing the growth and development of this little planet called Earth. Now, that's a big dream for these 12 acres. But when I looked in my Bible, and it said, if you want to get to heaven, you got to feed the hungry. So that's enough. Stop right there. Many will heal the sick. Many will do other things. But creating a community where people, in spite of the diversity of their backgrounds, come together and are able to provide food and water and life and education. And when you do that well, you also get to be good football and basketball players and swimmers, and you can bring things like the Olympics here. And all of this is a part, I think, of the way I see God's plan for leading us to peace on earth and goodwill toward all men, women, and children. Now, you don't have to put any money in the collection. But that's my sermon for tonight, for today. And I want to thank our brothers who, out in Colorado, the guys who, I mean, we're a little operation. You're 50-some acres? And there are 50 acres of this kind of operation in Colorado. And there's a network where they supply food all over the planet. And so this is bigger than we can imagine. But when I walked across the Edmund Pettus Bridge in 1965, it never dawned on me that I'd end up in Congress. It never dawned on me that I'd end up back in Atlanta as a mayor. I never even thought about the future. But now I've learned that the future can happen in the midst of all of our struggles and all of our difficulties. And so I've learned to dream for that future and about that future. Now maybe this is not the place for it or the time for it, but I want you to let me close with a prayer. And Father in heaven, we're here beneath your sun, and we're trying to find ways to use the water with which you have allowed us all to be baptized and to drink and to grow and to be a part of your planet Earth and your entire universe. We don't understand your will, but we know that you have told us through Jesus of Nazareth that we should feed the hungry, we should clothe the naked, we should heal the sick, and we should set at liberty those who are oppressed. And so we come with what we have. We ain't what we ought to be. We ain't what we're gonna be. But thank God, we ain't what we was. We're so much better off than any of us ever thought we would be when we started walking this sandy soil. And we had problems all along the way. But somehow with your spirit and with the love that you have given us, we have shared it with one another. And we're doing much better than any of us could have dreamed. We thank you. We thank you, and we open ourselves to your continued blessings. Bless the work that we do. Bless the families that gave us birth. Bless the families to which we are giving birth. Bless our children and help them to dream dreams, and to help them to see a future that we can't understand and don't see yet. But we know that this is your kingdom, and we are partners in your kingdom. And we ask your blessings, your mercy, and your forgiveness for all of our sins. And help us to be the best that we can be, but help us to love one another, and to forgive one another, and to understand one another, and to feed one another, and to share a cup of water, a taste of wine with one another. And so these are the teachings that have been passed down to us by our ancestors and the ones who brought us here to this country from all over the world. And we now ask that you would inspire us and give us the vision that we might share with the rest of the world, that the hungry that we feed here might also grow strong enough to help the hungry in India and Nigeria or Mexico or Venezuela, to learn to live together as brothers and sisters and find a way to have peace on earth and goodwill toward all men, women, and children everywhere. In your holy name we pray. Amen.
Thank you, Mr. Young. Now I'd like to invite Economic Development Director for Fulton County, for Clayton County, Erica Rocker. Before I do, I just want to pay thanks to her. When we first met Erica, she introduced us to everybody in Clayton County, got us through all the permitting departments. She did a yeoman's job, but we learned that she'd get anything done. Thank you so much for your patience, determination. Great to be here. Will you come up and then introduce some of your partners here?
Thank you, Rawson. Good afternoon, everyone. What a great day, and thank you, Ambassador Young, for those inspiring words. I am Erica Rocker, the Economic Development Officer for the Clayton County Board of Commissioners, and you know, as I even look out over the audience right now, it's just a perfect snapshot of what it takes to get a project done and to make economic development work. You know, it is a team sport. It's all about process. It begins with introductions, as you heard, and analytics on the county, drilled down to analytics on multiple sites. Then a convincing selection is made, such as where we are today. This was a 10-acre single-family ranch-style home. But now the real work begins of land disturbance, rezonings, federal and state compliance, plan review, permitting, and then finally a groundbreaking, which is the reason we're all here today. I look back at my notes, and it was October 29th of 2021 when we had our initial meeting to talk about this project and figure out how to make it happen in Clayton County. I just want to say to the many calls to our stakeholders, our Board of Commissioners, our partners, staff of the county, and others, thank you. Because when there's a commitment to see a project through, the end certainly outweighs the means. Georgia, you may have heard over and over, is the #1 state for business. And that is not a self-proclaimed title. That is decided by Site Selectors magazine, and that's people who vote across the country. Even with the surge of electric vehicle technology and industrial development, I want you to know that agribusiness and agri-tech is still the #1 industry sector for the state. So this project is very befitting and underscores that, because in ag tech we experienced about 29% job growth over the last year. In fact, our lead exports in the state are still pecans, peaches, and lumber are the top 3 products. Last year, 460,000 people moved to Georgia. So those people need to eat, they need somewhere to live, they need somewhere to work. This groundbreaking ceremony marks the home of a $12.5 million investment in Clayton County, 28 full-time jobs, 25 internships, producing 10 times more food using 5% water. This will be a net zero waste campus, certified USDA organic, and feature the most successful high-density growing techniques in horticulture. The 70,000 square foot greenhouse, which will appear on this land, will be held up as one of the leading greenhouse projects in the world, producing 0 pesticides, 0 synthetics, and competitive market pricing. We are so glad this farm will call Clayton County home. This is the future, and the best is yet to come. At this time, I'd like to bring up our stellar leadership, Chairman of the Clayton County Board of Commissioners, Jeffrey E. Turner, and then after him will be our Chief Operating Officer, Mr. Dietrich Stanford. And as Chairman Turner comes, we do have an award to present to the Andrew Young Foundation. So if Guarev and Rawson will come up to receive that. Yeah, let's do it
now. All right, at this time, we would like to present this award to the Andrew Young Foundation. It's called the Clayton County Office of Economic Development Appreciation Award. And we give this award to those companies, foundations, anybody who is making a positive impact here in Clayton County. And there's no doubt that this project is going to be very positive, not only for Clayton County, not only for the state of Georgia, but for the world. So thank you so much. Round of applause.
All right, look at here on 3. 1, 2, 3. Again, 1, 2, 3.
All right, good afternoon once again. I'm Chairman Jeff Turner, and I'm Chairman of Clayton County, and this is a great day for Clayton County as we stand on this unincorporated soil in Georgia's 5th most populated county in the metro area and within the state. I stand very proud as I congratulate the Andrew Young Foundation on their groundbreaking of this very important project. As the Chairman of Clayton County Board of Commissioners for the last 12 years, I have seen and met many developers who aspire to invest in this great county. This project is cutting edge and environmentally sustainable. It makes me proud to see the progression today, see the dirt actually moving, and to hear the vision of the Andrew Young Aquaponics farm. Let me say this, as I think Erica pointed out when we actually started getting in touch and talking about this development happening, this aquaponics farm. Kumar called me, well, let me back up, Gerald McDowell called me and said, hey, you need to listen to this guy. He has a great idea. The Andrew Young Foundation is looking for somewhere to place it, and he connected us. That's the great thing about having connections wherever you go. You got to have relationship, you got to have connections. If you want to bring great development into your community, then you got to actually know some people. So Gerald McDowell connected us, and we hit it off right away. He explained to me everything that was going on, and I said, you know what, this is a great idea. This is something that's not only sustainable, but something that's going to be great for our community, bring jobs, bring revenue, and best of all, feed people. So we always say, Clayton County is a place where the world lands and opportunities take off. And guess what? This opportunity is taking off. Thank you again.
Good afternoon. My name is Dietrich Stanford, the Chief Operating Officer for the county. Now, I know the chairman and I go back and forth all the time in teasing. He called it aquaponics. He likes water and music all at the same time, so I know he knows the word is aquaponics. Thank you, Chairman. Hello to you all, and welcome from the Clayton County Board of Commissioners and our workforce of 3,000 valuable employees. Clayton County is where the world lands and opportunities take off, as the Chairman just alluded to. We recognize the importance of projects of this magnitude to our local economy financially, but also the impact that aquaponics farm will have on our local community from a health and well-being perspective. The irony behind a lot of this is that Clayton County, we know that we have a lot of food deserts within our community, and the fact that we have a world-renowned aquaponics that's being built right here in our community will address some of the comings and some of the needs within Clayton County. So we really thank you all for the innovation and the vision around that. I commend our county staff for helping make this project happen, from project inception in our Office of Economic Development to transportation, land disturbance, community development, and the many hours of plan and site review of all others that have touched this project. Clayton County is open for business, and as Erica has put so eloquently in this writing, and our phenomenal Office of Economic Development will continue to attract investments of this notoriety and impact. Congratulations, Ambassador Young, to you, your contractors, partners, and investors for your vision, and for most of all, choosing Clayton County as a home for this aquaponics farm. This is the future and the best yet to come. And then lastly, I don't know if she planned this to have this on this particular day, but let's all say happy birthday to Erica as she's pushed forward to make things happen here in Clayton County. God bless.
Okay, we're going to wrap up in just a minute. But what I'd like to do is please stay seated, but there's a lot of food here. Please eat it. We've got a gift over on this table. I'm going to show you a water bottle. And again, aquaponics is 90% less water compared to traditional fountain. So this is a global solution. So take one of our water bottles with you. Glad you're here. If you don't mind, I'd like to just invite the people in the front row who are going to be on our photograph to just come on over here and walk right over here. That includes